Plaintiff Brian Dixon had a troubled childhood because after he saw his mother shoot his father, he turned to the streets and started using and selling drugs. Brian says when the defendant was 18 years old, she claimed she was Brian's daughter, so he petitioned the court for a paternity test. Defendant Bree was raised by her aunt and uncle, and over the years, family members told her that her father was a drug-dealing gangbanger. Bree says when she finally met Brian, they clicked instantly, and Bree hopes the DNA test will prove he is her biological father.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Sir, you are petitioning the court today for a DNA test.
Yes, Your Honor.
Give me some background on your relationship, on your experience relative to your daughter or her mom or whatever you'd like for me to know.
I didn't think I was going to have any children. Around about 6, 7, I'm sitting in the backseat of the car. I watched my mom shoot my father. Yeah, so.
Did he survive?
Yes, he survived for over 30 years. They stayed together.
Good.
Yeah, but it was like a real
trauma.
Difficult situation.
Yeah,
you know, and one thing for sure, whenever you're in a situation where the mom loves the person no matter what, you can't go jumping on that person because they're gonna always be together. So the streets took over me. Running around in the streets, things was bad, got to selling drugs. I even used drugs before, and it was getting real bad. I'm on the street one day, down here spiraling my life. A guy decided to shoot at me. He missed. I shoot him back. I did not miss. So I had some friends in the neighborhood. They hid me. They hid me for a long time. Now, me, Your Honor.
Did he survive?
Yes, yeah. My mom, ex-cop, she taught us how to shoot. I hit him in the elbow and his knee. I was not trying to do no. He don't need me to demise by me.
Great.
That's God's choice. So later on down the line, by them hiding me, you know, from that shooting, I feel I'm like a Chinaman. If you do some good by me, I'm in debt to you until I pay back the favor. That's how I feel. I got to respect you until I pay
You've
you
heard
back.
that that's Chinese culture?
Yeah, that's what I was.
Overwhelming.
Yes, that they real devoted to when someone showed them respect and love, they devoted to that person until the debt is repaid.
The reason I say that because otherwise it's a stereotype. You're
Right.
not Chinese. How you know how they feel? How you know how Chinese feel?
You correct.
You know, so I'm just clarifying that people
Thank
use
you.
stereotypes.
Thank you
They
for checking
come
me
in
on my
here and say black men don't care about their daughters.
Right. Right.
And that's not true. Here we got one such as you have come in here to make sure. And because you don't want to miss anything, obviously, because she's too old for child support, I suppose. And so you're not trying to get out of child support,
Right.
I don't assume. Let me hear from you. Give me some background on yourself.
All right, so throughout my childhood, I lived with my aunt and uncle, and I didn't know my dad at all. And most of my relatives were saying that he was this horrible person and that he sells drugs, he's in a gang, I should not get to know him at all. And it made a big influence on me, saying, okay, I shouldn't keep in contact or even try to contact him. But when I turned 18, my curiousness, I went to Ohio to finally meet him, and he was completely not what I expected. He was goofy, we just clicked, and even our physical appearances, like, I mean, look at our foreheads, okay? Like, our eyes, like, we
Very
just,
much resemble.
we looked alike. So I was just confused, like, why are they telling me he's just horrible? He's so cool, like, I want to hang out with him all the time. And also, I heard rumors around that time I was born, my mom was seeing other men. And some relatives were saying that I favor one of those men.
When were you first told that?
Just when, around the time I met my other side of the family, like my grandparents and my dad, just around that time.
And
about
how old
18.
were you again?
18.
Okay,
So
and
that's when
time
I
you
found-
heard that, you pursued finding out.
Yeah, so that's when I was curious. I'm like, okay, I want to know if he's really my dad or not, because he's this awesome guy. I've never really had a father figure in my life, and within just these 2 weeks living with my dad, like, I even call him dad.
Good.
I look at him as my dad, and I'm just so happy. Like, every time I see him, he just puts a smile on my face, and I feel it's just great.
Excellent. Excellent. So you tell me, she has said she wants to find out, but what happened those 18 years? Why weren't you in her life
Well,
connected? And you might owe some child support now that I think about it.
Right.
You don't owe her, you owe her mother. But go ahead.
Right. When she was conceived, it wasn't positive that she was mine.
Did you sign on to the birth
Well, I was on the
certificate?
run from the federal government. So when we had her in Beverly Hills, and when they came to me, you know, they said, well, you need to sign this birth certificate. I said, oh, wow, if I sign this, Brian M. Dixon, I say, they're going to come and get me because they've been looking for me for like 3 years. You know, I was hiding from them. So I signed my alias that I was using in California. But inside where the middle name is at, I put BMD. So for Brian McKenzie Dixon, but that does not pan out because we went to the BMV a couple of weeks ago and we tried to get her license transferred over because she's under 25. So she have to have a parent sign for her until she could show proof of residence. So she did not have that. So I showed them my wanted.
That was recently. I'm asking
showed
you
them that.
about the first 18 years.
The first when the feds got me, I was locked up.
You did 18? How many did you do?
I did 10 years.
Okay.
I did 7 years straight. I
A
did
dope
7
case?
straight. No, I robbed a bank. Can I explain?
Well, as long as they were predatory lending, you were just going to get your money back.
In a sense.
Go ahead.
In a
I'll
sense.
let you explain.
Okay, Your Honor, things were so bad when I came home when I did them 3 years. I did 3 years for some guys because I wouldn't tell on them. You know,
For what?
They caught a dope case.
Go ahead.
I was there when they caught it. They was looking at major time. They were the ones who hid me when I shot the guy, and I felt like I owed them just because of the person that I am.
Let's get to the bank robbery.
So I robbed the bank.
When? At what point? When you were being stashed away by your buddies?
No, I had did another robbery before that, so I was on the run for something.
How many banks have you robbed?
Your Honor, I'm 45 now, and to be honest with you, my memory only go back so far, and I can just remember the one that they
bank
arrested
crime.
me for. I can't remember
But you
no
think
other
it-
bank. I don't care how hard I try to remember, Your Honor. I just can't remember. But I know the one that I did a time for. but one thing I do want to point out, Your Honor, when I robbed that bank, you know, I believe in God. I know it may sound crazy, but I believe in God.
No, please. Most of the folks
Now-
believe in God doing wrong.
When I went in there, I asked the Lord. I said, Lord, I just want to go in there and get the money that I need. That's it. Now, when I went in that bank, it was more than what I needed. I only took what I need. That's it. I
What
didn't
did you
touch
need?
nothing else. I only needed like a couple of grand to get out of town. That's all I wanted to do, get out of town. And that's what I did. I got out of town. And that's when I met her mom.
So you knew there was several $100,000 in there,
And I did not
obviously.
touch it. When I went in there, Your Honor, I jumped over the counter because I don't use no weapons. I don't use no weapons.
Go ahead.
I run straight in because I don't believe in hurting nobody for financial gain. I don't believe in that.
Right.
So I run in the bank. I just jump over the counter and I'm fast. I was fast then. I'm old now. So I hit all the tellers. That's it. I get what I need. That's it. And even if the cow open with all the money in it, I don't touch it. I don't touch that. I only get what I need and I'm gone. You know, so I took off to California because I didn't want to live that life I was living in Cleveland no more. And that's when I met her mom. But you know, things turned toward the worst. Get in the hospital. When she came out, I'm the one cut her cord. But as I'm looking at her, I had it in my heart, like I want to believe she's mine. But as I'm steady staring at her, she didn't look like she was mine.
You don't know what a baby look like, whether it's yours when they first
Yeah, I
come
know,
out.
but I was
At least
young, I
give
was
them a
dumb.
couple of months.
Right,
Go ahead.
right.
Then what?
The feds told me they let me stay with her for 9 days. And they said,
All right, you did a 7-year bit. At the end of that, how old was she?
I didn't see her again until she was 18. The uncle and aunt had custody of her. I couldn't get in contact with them. I had no contact. They didn't have no contact with me. I just seen her 2015. That's my very first time seeing her since I cut her cord. Yeah, so we are total strangers. But she been in my house for 2 weeks. And even, it's been good. And when I look at her, I got custody of one of my other daughters. And just watching them two, the way they play together and everything, it just seems natural. I mean, it's been a long time, and I've been waiting for
Let me
this.
see the results. Now, do you mind? No, go ahead. If he's your dad, now that you know your dad is a crook,
Yeah, I accept it.
Ex-crook.
an ex-crook,
I
you
know
still
that
all
he-
right with it?
Definitely changed.
I mean, I was a crook too, and my children weren't embarrassed because I changed my life, and it sounds like he's changed his life. So, even though he was a crook, don't deny him.
Bree.
While we're here, you shouldn't have been a crook, then she wouldn't be denying you.
Right.
I don't know if that's my daddy. I'm gonna go get a test from all I heard he did.
It's your name, right?
Yeah.
So no matter what these test results say, what are you to me?
Your daughter.
Huh?
You're gonna make me
Okay?
cry.
You know where we at. You know where we at. We had that talk. You promised me, even if it come out that you is not my daughter, you gonna stay with me and Kim until you turn 21 years old, because you're still a child.
She gonna stay with
Okay?
you as your blood.
Yes.
There you go. Here's the phone.
I told you you was mine. I told you you was mine. What did I tell you?
Yeah.
I said you mine. You mine. You mine. That's what's up.
Me?
Yeah.
I feel as I felt the 2 weeks she been there, I knew this was my daughter.
Yeah.
But no matter how much a man may think a child is his, you gotta have that proof. You need that proof. And now, hey, we just go forward from here.
Yeah.
That's all we do.
Happy.
We go forward.
Go
That's all we
forward.
do.
Yeah.
We go forward from here. That's it.